Hello, and welcome to the first episode of The Name Game. To get this going, I figured I'd start with the first human name given in the entire franchise, Michael. Michael is a name of Hebrew origin, meaning who is like God. It's generally masculine, but can also be feminine. In the FNaF franchise, the name appears a few times in its standard form, though is usually shortened to Mike. There is also one occurrence of the name Mick, which is another variation. The very first appearance of the name is the first ever human name given in FNaF 1, Mike Schmidt. This is the name of the security guard we play as according to the paycheck at the end of the game. Nothing is known about Mike from this game alone, since he is a silent protagonist and we never see him, unless you count the death screen where you can see his eyes popping out of the suit. The next official game appearance is Sister Location, where we first see the name Mike stuck on the keypad. It's not explained until you beat the hardest custom night challenge, after which someone by the name of Michael gives a brief speech to his father, telling of doing what he'd been told, finding her and putting her back together, confessing something is wrong with him and that he should be dead, and finally ending with saying he is going to come find his father. It's implied that Michael is the person we were playing as in Sister Location. He is voiced by PJ Haywood. It's not until Security Breach Ruin that we see the name again. Near the beginning, there's a lot of graffiti on the walls. One is a chart with Wizard decrypted on top and bottom, and Filled with Fury to Filled with Anxiety on left to right. The name Mike is written on the chart on the Filled with Anxiety side, and a bit below the line into the cryptid section. Now on to the books. First off, in the Silver Eyes trilogy, we're told about a kid named Michael Brooks, who was a childhood friend of the main cast. He was one of the victims of the missing children incident, and the group attended a scholarship dedication ceremony in his honor. Michael apparently was a decent artist for a kid his age. At the end of the Silver Eyes, it's revealed that Michael is the kid who possesses Golden Freddy. He seems to be the only one of the five who is still aware of the situation, but is able to communicate to the others not to hurt his friends. In the fourth closet, when Carlton is injected with Remnant, he encounters the children running around chasing drawings while Michael sits under the table drawing. He's trying to collect all the drawings to put them back together, again showing he's the only one truly aware of the situation, though even he is a little misled by Afton. From Fazbear Frights, we have straight off the first story, Into the Pit. After hiding in the ball pit and finding himself in the past, Oswald encounters a kid named Mike, and hangs out with him and Chip while he's there. Mike is really good at skee-ball and always beats Oswald and Chip. After Oswald witnesses the missing children incident, we don't hear from Mike again in the book, but he does make a reappearance in the game of the same name, where Oswald later rescues him from the kitchen. In the collection 1:35 AM is the story The New Kid, which introduces a kid named Mick Callahan. He's the best friend of the main character Devin and hangs out with him most of the time. Mick has undiagnosed learning disorders and struggles to make friends other than Devin, but he's well-meaning and loyal. In the collection Blackbird is the story The Real Jake. Jake has an uncle named Michael, the brother of his father Evan. Michael is described as a rich and uptight person who acts awkwardly, like a cyborg with bad programming. Jake hasn't encountered him much since he lives in Europe. In the collection The Puppet Carver is the story Jump for Tickets. The main character Colton has an uncle named Mike who's a car mechanic. He's very kind to Colton and often lets him work on cars with him or borrow tools. In the collection Felix the Shark is the story You're the Band. Mike is again a security guard here, and he seems to know about the spirits possessing the animatronics. He breaks into the main character Sylvia's house to try to steal a Freddy mask that came from the pizzeria and tells her it may have harmed her son Timmy. Then he takes her to the pizzeria to help her find Timmy and get rid of something alive in the mask that possessed the boy. Then there's the survival logbook. On page 2 there is text saying this book belongs to, and the name Mike written in red pen and then crossed out. A sticky note on the page says someone has already written in this book, and indeed several more instances of red pen occur throughout the pages, evidently written by the book's previous owner Mike. He draws several pictures and writes snarky remarks about how dangerous the place is and such. Finally we have the FNaF movie. The protagonist is Mike Schmidt, same as in the first game. He is played by Josh Hutcherson and has a little sister named Abby whom he must take care of in their parents' absence. He gets a job at Freddy's as the night guard, and upon learning about the missing children, hopes they can help him find out what happened to his brother Garrett, who was abducted several years prior. Hutcherson is slated to reprise his role as Mike in the second movie. That's all the canonical appearances, but there is one other I'll give an honorable mention. In the game files of FNaF 2, we find this image that sort of resembles a skull. It's labeled Mike. It's apparently an unused radar sprite with no code attached to it, and its purpose is unknown. That's all for now. If you know of any other occurrence I may have missed, check the description in case I added it in post, or else tell me so I can add it. And let me know what name you think I should cover next. See ya!